A right rebel is not willing to commit adultery, having a relationship with a married person. It's not in them. There's no desire to have a relationship with someone that's not theirs. This is a wicked desire. Remember, they follow and they chose light. And they chose the things the Most High loved. This is the things the Most High hates. Remember, the righteous rebel will hate what the Most High hates. And that's the right way. It says, and patience give many good things. We have to, it's talking about enduring and having patience, overcoming these temptations, these trials, when the enemy throws something before us. 3, how often did the Egyptian woman threaten me with death? How often? She often threatened him with death because he wouldn't have relations with her. He continued to rebel against her. He was a right rebel. Perfect example of a right rebel. How often did she give me over to punishment and then call me back and threaten me? And when I was unwilling to accompany her, she said to me, you shall be a master of me. You will be my master in all that is in my house if you will give yourself unto me. This is what she's telling him. She had great possession in her charge. Her husband was rich. He had servants. And you shall be as our master. She wanted to make him the master of the house. She was willing to kill her husband to make him the master. I will kill my husband and you can become the master of the house. But I remember the words of my father. And going into my chamber, this is when you go into your place of prayer here, private place. And I wept and prayed unto Yahuwah, and I fasted in those 7 years. And I appeared to the Egyptian as one living delicately. For they that fast for the sake of the Most High receive beauty of face. And if my master were away from home, I drank no wine. Look at this. When his master was away, he said, I drank no wine. For the 3 days I didn't. He says, I didn't eat food. He didn't eat. But I gave it to the poor and the sick. Doing a righteous deed here. Righteous act. Something that will make the Most High. Something the Most High is approved of. And I sought Yahuwah early. He sought the Most High early. If he sought him early, that means he laid down early. And I wept for the Egyptian woman of Memphis. For very uncertainly did she trouble me. She put him through a lot of trouble. For also at night she came to me in the pretense of visiting me. I'm just visiting. And because she had no male child, she pretended to regard me as a son. So she tried to say, I have no male, so I'm going to treat you like a son. Okay, you could be like a son to me. Come here. A mom holds and hugs and caresses their sons, and she just wanted to get her hands on him. But he didn't fall for it. Once again, he said, so I prayed to Yahuwah, and she bare a male child. Look at this. Now, here's a child. Go hug on him. Caress him. And for a time, she embraced me as a son, and I knew it not. She did this thing subtly. He didn't even know it. But later she sought to draw me into fornication, draw me into a relationship. And when I perceived it, I sorrowed unto death. Look at this. Man, we don't know this righteousness. We do not know this righteousness. He sorrowed unto death when he realized what she had done. And when she had gone out, I came to myself and lamented for her many days, because I recognized her guile and her deceit. People use guile and deceit, and they trick other people into rebelling against the Most High. When the Most High command his people something, he didn't mean that. he meant this. This is what it's saying. This is what he's saying. And they are changing and lying and deceiving and beguiling people, tricking. He says, not declared unto her the word. Look at this. I declared unto her the words of the Most High. He gave her scripture. If haply she would turn from her evil lust. This woman, of course, she was in her evil lust, lusting after this man, and she's a married woman. Here he was single, but she was married. He couldn't do this wicked thing. So he rebelled against the wicked woman. He rebelled against. Enemy would have loved to see them come together and have relationship, but he rebelled, and that made him a right rebel. All right, let's get his father. Let's get Abraham. Joshua 23:25-33. Once again, we will see the enemy speaking to the righteous and trying, just as the first man and woman, trying to get the righteous to rebel against the Most High. But the right rebel will always rebel against him. This right rebel is going to rebel against him. That's why he's a right rebel. We know the story. Abraham is about to offer up his son as commanded by the Most High. And while Abraham was proceeding with his son, Isaac, Yitzchak, along the road, Shatan came and appeared to Abraham. Look, he appeared to him. You don't think this stuff happened in the borders? Huh. He appeared to him in the figure of a very old man. We don't need this. We can't handle this today. Because if the enemy appeared to us within the borders as a very old man, very aged man, we would be in trouble. We would have pity for this man. Look, he appeared humble and contrite of ruach. And he approached Abraham and said to him, are you silly or brutish that you go to do this thing this day to your only son? So he's saying, you foolish? Are you silly? Are you kidding me? You're going to kill your own son? For Yahuwah gave you a son in your latter days. Here's truth. Remember, he tells truth and lies. We learned from him with scripture. We see how he did our forefathers. He gave them truth and lies. The enemy will always give you truth and lies. If he give us all lies, we wouldn't listen to him. So these are your teachers. They give you truth and lies. And so our people say, oh, we're in the truth. And the teacher teaching truth plus lies. 50-50. I believe the enemy keeps it 50-50 so he can reel us in with the 50% truth that he give us. Most of our people fall for him and fall into his traps and end up rebelling against the Most High. He says, for Yahuwah gave you in your latter days, in your old age, a son. And will you go and slaughter him this day? Because he committed no violence. He committed no violence. He did nothing wrong. Look, this is another truth. Will you slaughter him this day? Because he committed no violence. The enemy knows if you commit violence or not. He knows. So he said he committed no violence. It's true. And will you cause the soul of your only son to perish from the earth? He says, do you not know and understand that this thing cannot be from Yahuwah? Now that's a lie. Don't you know and understand? He'd been told something that the Most High most likely wouldn't tell us. So he said, don't you know and understand? This thing it can't be from the Most High. And somehow people tell us, you know, this thing can't be from the Most High. Certainly. He wouldn't tell us to do this. He wouldn't tell us to do that. For Yahuwah cannot do unto man such evil upon earth to say to him, go slaughter your child. See, he's saying this is evil. And the Most High is not going to tell his people, the righteous, to go slaughter their child. See, here comes some truth. Truth with lies. And Abraham heard this and knew that it was the word of Satan. How did he know this? How did Abraham know this was the word of the enemy? Because he knew the Most High. He knew the Most High's voice. And he knew for a fact the Most High had commanded him to do this. And he was going to do it regardless of what anyone else said. So he knew that word was from the enemy. And in David, to draw him aside. Look, he used this to draw him aside from the way of Yahuwah, from away of the commandment. If the Most High give you a command, he will not give his people. Tell you something, tell you to do something that he will not tell his righteous people. Would you do it? You see, we can't be tested in these areas. We're not strong. We don't know the Most High like Abraham know the Most High. So he's not going to put us through these type of tests. We can't deal with that. We couldn't handle that. We would turn from serving him. And we would say it's useless. He's telling me to do wicked. He's evil. Why would he tell me to do wicked? And we wouldn't carry it out and allow him to stop us at the last minute. We wouldn't do this. We're not Abraham. We didn't know what Abraham knew. The more you know, the more of him you know, the heavier your test will be. If your knowledge of him is little, your test will be little. He tests everyone where we're at. Verse 28. And Abraham heard this. No. Verse 29. And the enemy. Wait. Okay. 28. I'm right. And Abraham heard this and knew that it was the word of Satan. It was to draw him away from Yahuwah. And Abraham would not hearken to the voice of Satan. He would not hearken to his voice. He rebelled. Abraham rebelled against his voice, and that made him a right rebel. Thank the Most High for Abraham being a right rebel. Thank the Most High for all the men in Scripture that was a right rebel. They had to be a right rebel to do something like this. He didn't hearken to the voice of the enemy, and Abraham rebuked him so that he went away. You see, we have to rebuke this enemy. When Abraham rebuked him, the Most High rebuked him. And the enemy returned and came to, see, it didn't work with Abraham. So now he come to the son. He come to Yitzchak. And he appeared to Yitzchak in the figure of a young man. Now he coming as a young man, calmly and well favored, charming. Look at this. Humbly, likable. He was likable. And he appeared to Yitzchak and said unto him, do you not know and understand that your old, look at this, your old silly father bring you to slaughter you this day for nothing? See, here comes a lie. Now therefore my son, calling Yitzchak his son, he would love to call you and I his son. He called his people, the wicked one, his son. They are his sons and daughters. Just like the Most High have his children, the enemy has his children. He calling him my son, and he does not belong to him. Why did the enemy call him my son? He wanted Yitzchak. He wanted Abraham. He wanted Moshe. He wanted Aaron. He wanted Joshua. He wanted Yahusep. He wanted them to be his son and daughters. He want you to be his son and his daughter. But you have to be the right rebel and say, oh, heck no. I'm the son and the daughter of the highest. And we know and understand who our Father is. And a strange voice, a stranger, we will not listen. We will not take heed. But we would rebel against that voice which make us right rebels. See, many of us, you've been a right rebel and you didn't know it. You come to the channel today to find out that you are a right rebel. Good job. Very, very good job.